Familia del Internet, ¿cómo estamos? Francisco Gomez here, and welcome to The Progressing Male. Here I try to tackle all those outdated BS situations like men can't access their emotions, that we're not allies, and that we can't think with the correct head. Here with my co-host, we are trying to fight, or at least challenge, cancel culture. So without further ado, let me introduce you to the sexiest ginger I know, Kane Silver.
Hola, guapo!
That was pretty good. High five.
All right, calm down.
And then El Chocolate Machine, Dwayne Nosworthy.
Hey. Arriba. Ondele.
That's racism, but it's okay.
Okay. My bad.
Both extremely talented, multi-talented artists, dance artists. Some of them even have their own podcast. Hello.
That's you, bro.
Oh, yeah. Ins and Outs.
The Ins and Outs
But Dwayne,
podcast.
you've also started the...
Yeah.
So
Dads Are Us. And,
Dads Are Us?
Yeah. You know,
Where can we find that? On IG?
IG, all of the platforms
all
now.
the platforms.
Actually, all the platforms, yeah.
All of them. Yeah, he's 65, so...
So I couldn't mention all of them. You know when you just go, yeah. I'm not 65, guys.
Right.
You are
Well,
rude.
today, gentlemen, I want to go a bit back because the kind of role of a man and woman has shifted
Okay.
because it needed to.
Yeah.
But also there has been a lot of women now have taken their role as a man to some extent. And that's caused a little bit of disruption, a little bit of upset, especially to my straight counterparts. So...
Man said straight counterparts and
I know.
this action. This is total different.
Hey,
Okay, sorry, my bad.
I'm sensitive.
We're not going there.
We're not. So my question is, I've got my stencil of what a date or how I would move to a gentleman,
Right.
or when I was straight to a woman. How do you do that now? What is the gentlemanly thing to do to a woman to try and, not court her? I don't think that's the right word, but, to try.
No, we can use the word. We can use the word.
Yeah.
court.
So how would you do that now, Dwayne? Because there's so
Come to
many.
me first, yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to Kane, because Kane's you've been in this longer than me. I'm recent to single.
Well, this is it.
Do you know what I mean?
So, a little backstory. Dwayne was in a relationship, I believe, for over a decade.
It's over 20 years, man.
Oh, over 20 years.
Over 20 years.
Not with her anymore, but co-parenting amazingly.
Yes.
And so now he's finally back into, now that we've got apps and so much has changed when you weren't single. Now that you're single, you're now reintroducing yourself to the world, really.
In a sense, yeah. For me, I'm reintroducing myself into the world as Dwayne.
Right.
Period. As an entity. Do you know what I mean? So it's not really about being single or in a relationship. It's just about me being me.
But that comes,
That still
comes with, maybe meeting a female friend or two.
Right. But I'm not really sure how that... For me, meeting people has always been easy.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I'm quite a people person. So I don't know about the dating apps. I don't know about...
So you don't do dating apps yet?
No, I'm not. Because as I just said to you, that's not my focus. Like, being single isn't like, oh, I'm single, ready to mingle. It's like, no, I'm just no longer with the woman of my dreams.
So...
Do you know what I mean?
So, all right then.
Yeah.
So how do you think, if the opportunity presented itself,
Yeah.
what would Dwayne do to serenade the moment and secure the bag?
Oh, so we secure the bag. All right. So what I would do? Look me in my eye.
Oh dear, Barry White. Sings.
So no. I'm the guy who's like, if I see a woman that I like, I'm gonna compliment her. I'm just gonna go and communicate with her. Normally, I think we spoke in an episode before where I said I don't really court. I'm not really good at the whole chirps in and step into.
Yeah, you said you don't have game, and
I don't have
actually the approach.
Yeah, the approach in a sense where that's what I'm actually doing. The game ain't there. So for me, just being me is where I see that attraction. I'm attracted to effort. So if I can see a woman who makes effort with herself, and I'm not talking like externally or aesthetically, I'm talking about that internal effort.
So that she's together.
Yeah, just the effort to actually... I love a woman who knows herself.
Yeah, you always said she doesn't... I don't want her to need me, just want me.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's all about energy. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like you look get it as well. It's like, it's all about that energy. So although like I'm attracted to a woman, like you can see someone coming in the room and like she's a 10 straight. But if her energy doesn't match that, then I'm not interested. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's all about the energy. I'm already wooing you from my energy. I know my energy. I know my power. So I know that I can gain interest just by asserting my energy, allowing you to notice me without me having to be the clown, even though I can be the clown in the room, and having to over exaggerate and do all those things, even though I can do those things, just by being me. So being able to just step in the room and like just communicate with a woman, that to me is sexy.
Okay. What about you, Kay? Now, obviously, you have a fiance now, but what was it before then? Or how did you win your fiance's heart?
My Beyonce.
Your Beyonce. Your Beyonce's heart.
Oh, my Kelly.
Michelle.
That was wrong. That was
That
wrong.
was wrong because we love Michelle.
Yeah.
I'm a hater.
With Georgia, we were on a job together, and I just fancied her. I was choreographing it and dancing it. So I was like, "You're my partner." So I made her be my partner.
What?
Strategical move there.
I know. I like it.
Yeah.
No, I like it though.
Tactical.
No, it's better you do it. If you're in a position of power, use that. Don't abuse it.
I didn't
But you,
use it.
no, I'm putting it out there, not to you.
So I made her be my partner for the show. So we got to spend more time together talking. But I never tried anything. And my intention wasn't really to try anything because I was going back to LA. Because I was like, I don't want a relationship.
So you were just
anything.
entertaining the thought.
I was just like, she seems cool. If I'm going to be stood with someone on stage because I was doing panto.
I pick you.
If I'm going to be with someone for 52 shows,
Man, I do the same.
going to be the hot one.
Straight.
See if she's nice. And then turns out she's really nice. And then I was like, let's go Winter Wonderland. So we went to Winter Wonderland and just
And you
to
think
be honest,
the ride. I'm joking.
on it.
Sorry.
I was joking.
Cisco, man.
Took it further. But she wasn't. And I think what actually I found attractive is that she didn't really want me.
Oh,
Nice.
Psychological
Yeah.
tug of war of it all.
Yeah, like she was actually, she played hard to get. But I don't even think she played hard to get. I just think she was just like no. And I was
Really?
like, what you mean?
Right.
I'm me.
I like that.
And I was like, I'm really cool.
Yeah.
And your boss.
Yeah. So if you want to book Panto next year, you better sleep with me.
So I
Cisco.
don't know. So I just, to me, it was just about getting to know her because there was never the possibility in my head of it ever being a relationship. So I was just like, cool, let's just get to know each other and hang out.
So Winter Wonderland
then-
was because you wanted to shag her.
Yeah, and just someone to hang out with because we were in fucking Stoke and there's nothing else to do
That Stoke is grim. No
for
offense.
6 weeks. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, if I get to go with someone, let's go have a good time.
Yes.
So we went, and then I was like, I actually like her. And then obviously, from spending every day with each other doing panto, it's like an amped up relationship.
Yeah.
Because you're with each other constantly.
Yeah,
so it's not
of course.
like your fifth date is Tuesday afternoon and you met Monday. Like,
Yeah, no, you're right. It's like
because
our
it's
world is
so-
like that though.
It's so intense. Like, because you're with each other all day.
Our world
food,
is like
all
that.
these different
Yeah.
things. Even you come back after lunch and it's like, it's a new date. Like,
Yeah, no, you're right.
I know it's weird.
Everything's kind of like,
Ramp faster.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then we consummated the friendship, and
Ooh.
then after Panto, I just kept postponing flying back to LA, and I was like,
Because of her.
yeah, like I didn't want to go.
Oh, she had you pussy whipped.
Actually, you said something earlier. This was off camera, and you said like when she was leaving, you were just like, "Oh no, don't go."
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
so like, whereas before it's like you might have just been like, if you had consummated the relationship, it'd be like, okay, yeah, bye.
Yeah.
Whereas with her, it was totally different. You was like,
yeah.
no, stay, let's talk,
I was
let's hug,
attracted to her physically, but also
mentally and emotionally,
yeah,
and spiritually.
her as her full self.
See,
Yeah, beautiful.
I'm getting from this is that Grace Joe moment. The power of the pussy.
This guy took it. For those of you that don't know where he took that from, that is from Boomerang, Eddie Murphy movie, Grace Jones, Legends. And when she talks about pussy, 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 you have to go watch it. And I feel like you're going to have to show the clip. That's the point.
Need to clip. Yeah, because I always said this, that a feminine mystique is one thing, but the power is in the purse.
The power of the punane and the bunda
Yeah.
is something new.
I'm like, bleh. No, joking.
No, you like bunda, just a different bunda.
I've had the bundas, yeah, but now I like the bratwurst. So, to summarize it, you kind of was like, look, I'm gonna put her as my partner because I'm intrigued about her.
Yeah,
And then you took her. Would you call it a date?
yeah. It was a date, but
Unofficial date.
yeah. But you know what I think it is? I think because I never thought anything was gonna happen, I never. You know, like when you go on a date, like you show the best you, and you try and show all the things you like about you, and maybe hide the things you don't like. Well, I didn't do that because we'd been doing rehearsals and a
For
show
so long.
together,
Yeah.
and like we've seen each other dressed in the most horrendous outfits of all time, doing panto, which isn't like the most glamorous of jobs, and we're in Stoke-on-Trent, and I was like, if you don't like me, who cares? Like,
That was the best place for you to be.
I go back to LA in 2 weeks. Like, what does it matter if you don't like me? I'm just going to be the real me.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, that's what worked.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I was, and you know, we were together 8 years yesterday.
Congrats!
So 8 years yesterday.
Wow, it's 8 years already, man.
Yeah. So I feel like what sometimes happens is maybe when you go on dates and stuff with people is like you show them the best you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't show them your ugly side. And eventually people figure out the things that you've been hiding or your ugly bits. But where I wasn't trying to maybe hide my ugly bits, I was just like...
You were just busy being you.
I was just busy being me.
Which is
then
beautiful.
we knew the real each other from the jump.
Mm.
So it's never felt like you've had to like find stuff out about each other and be like, oh, because I just was me from the jump. I wasn't like, you know, like some people when they first meet, like let's say like the guy starts off like being like a real gent, like
Real romantic.
real romantic, and then that slowly wears off.
Yep.
Because it's a facade.
All crazy.
Yeah, all crazy, all crazy. But I think where we were just both openly us, that's why it worked so well.
It was actually the best foundation for your
Yeah.
relationship to be built upon.
Yes, because it
Yeah.
was never built on a lie.
Yeah, beautiful.
Wow. Do you reckon that approach would work now that things have changed so much? Because in 8 years, similar to Dwayne, like it's a long period of time where things change, and I feel like what the apps have given is more chance, opportunity, but it's become almost like a microwavable meal. So the substance attached to the human contact side of dating is now secondary because you're basing everything on the physical, and then most people are just there to shag, especially my LGBTQ plus. We love her. And so I feel like, Dwayne, it's interesting that you're not going to integrate yourself or have no interest, because that's where dating has gone to. Like back, you know, gone are the days where like you would go out and that's where you meet someone. It is app now first, club, dinner second.
Right.
So do you see yourself trying that at all?
Now, no.
No intrigue, no.
I've got zero interest in
That's
it.
amazing, and you know I respect that.
Yeah, I'm not even. I wish I were lying.
Yeah.
Like I wish it was like, oh no, I'm exaggerating. Zero.
But do you think that intrigue might change when you're like, do you know what? I'm ready for a relationship. I'm not finding anything. What if that person is there one swipe away?
Possibly.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
So you're open to it. It's just.
Oh, I stay open to anything, man.
But there's no anything.
Yeah, I do. Even
Anything.
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 Yeah, but there's just things I say no to. I stay open
Like
to
bum
it.
sex.
No. You see what I'm saying? I stay open, as in to the
Man just said I'm open to anything, and I say bum sex.
Yeah, no, because-
homophobia at its finest.
no, because for me it's just not sexy. You know?
Oh, it's very sexy.
Yeah, for you. I don't even want to know what that sound means.
I don't
Get me?
know what's wrong with me.
What's happened?
Like, but you see now, any of the man that's watching from Brixton, bruv, you see what I'm saying? Are you down?
Come on, Brixton.
No, but it's just like, although I do stay open to things, there's just things that I don't want to do though right now. So it's like I'm open to those apps, but I have zero interest in it.
Gotcha.
I think Dwayne's afraid he might like it.
What we talk about, the app or the bum sex?
No, the bum.
Sorry.
Because and when you don't talk about bum sex, who's doing it? Me or them doing it to me?
They're pegging you, so
Nah,
peg
big
you.
man.
Yes.
No, look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? No. Why are you saying yeah? Are you down?
No, I'm talking about you.
Dwayne, you'd be down. You'd be down if it was Justin Timberlake. You'll let him
Yeah,
put the
yeah,
tip in.
I don't understand.
Take me on tour.
Bruv, this Justin Timberlake fascination, yeah.
For my viewers and listeners, if this is your first episode and you haven't seen season 1,
All I want you to do is be my love.
wow. Justin Timberlake is one of his heroes, and he would love. He's danced with Justin Bieber, but he just hasn't danced with the Justin Timberlake, and so there is an ongoing joke. But I think he would actually give him head.
But yeah, I'm not there.
Right.
I'm not against it.
Yeah.
But for me, like you said, there's no substance to it either.
Yeah.
So not only is it not where I'm heading right now,
Right.
because that's not what, like, I'm not looking to not be single. I'm not looking to be in a relationship. I'm just looking to enjoy Dwayne.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And my family dynamic and whatever that looks like. But I'm open to exploring.
When it comes.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, great.
But it's just, yeah, the whole app thing kind of makes me go, where's the substance?
It probably works differently depending on obviously who you are, but like your lifestyle. Because like let's say like we all were just like, not just, that sounds so bad, but let's say we all
Regular schmegulars.
Yeah, let's say we all worked in an office where like you saw the same people every day.
Yeah, that changes everything.
And you weren't very happy, and there's a like a not very exciting buzz in the room. It's quite hard maybe to pick up on people's nice things because everyone's like, I hate my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
It's very general, Kane.
We're always in environments where we're around people who are normally doing what they love.
Yeah.
So we bounce off each other all the time. We're always having fun. Like I've never not been in an environment with you when you're like, like you're never down. You're always like, because we're always in places where we like to be.
True.
So maybe it's easier for someone like Dwayne to meet someone without an app because people get and he's expressive and people get to, and he's quite loud if I'm being honest, but people get to see him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he lets people know he's there, whereas if he was in Lloyd's TSB, it wouldn't be so easy for him to be himself as his true entity
Because that format is too square for him.
But it would be like, can you tone it down? Whereas he's never in an environment where he gets told to tone it down.
So you're basically saying that the reason also is because his life gives him enough nutrients or excitement to not want to go there.
He doesn't not even want to. He probably doesn't need
to. Right. I'm not gonna lie, lads. Like I was very late to the party when it came to the apps, but my goodness, once I got into it, it was amazing because it was just such a nice pastime. It's
your version of Instagram. You're just scrolling for the sake of scrolling.
I think it was his version of Domino's, bro. Domino.
Wow, if I get sued for that, great. That was so heterosexual over there.
He's just jealous. He wanted in.
I know. Do it again. So, what do you think about the dynamic change about a woman's role? Because I was looking at a short documentary, I think it was, on women in Iceland. And women in Iceland, it's frowned upon for you to pay for the drinks or the first meal if you're on a date, because they're like, I don't need you to do that, thank you. Because if I do that to the man, then they're going to want something more. It's like I owe them more. And it's like an Icelandic thing.
Is that the energy of it as well?
Yeah. The women are very much, no, it's fine. So how would you approach yourself with a woman like that? Not to that same degree, but similar to that.
Wait,
they are now...
Sorry. The woman would be offended if the man tried paying?
Yeah. Because,
Sorry, I was trying to
correct me if I'm
understand.
wrong, my rule is, obviously because when we both have penises, it's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
But if I invite you to a date, I'm paying for the date because I invited you. So the chivalry in me is like, no, next one you've got this, or we'll go 50-50. But because I introduced the idea to you, I've got this. For a man and a woman, traditionally, not saying that is right or wrong, traditionally the man would do it.
Yeah.
But now we see the modern day woman being a bit more vocal about wanting things, and it's an expectation now. And so to me, when someone is expecting something that should come under the construct of chivalry, I retract because I'm like, no, you're not going to do that for me. You're not going to take me for a mug.
Yeah.
I saw a video, for example, of a woman when they were on a first date, and she had the audacity to try and order extra food for her kids and her family.
Yeah, I sent out that post.
But she was telling the man, not asking, telling him that he was going to have to pay for it. So he started laughing.
Nah.
He's like, I'm not going to do that. And she was like, but you're the man.
And he was late. So that was part of the reason why she was doing it. So he was an hour and a half late to the date. No. It doesn't change it. I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh, you're getting pudding at least.
Yeah, no, but you're getting pudding.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm willing to make that up to you.
I see. So she was being
She was like, you were an hour and a half late.
Petty.
Yeah, she was being petty.
Okay.
But what if... Okay, I don't know the story, so I'm just throwing
Go for it.
shit at the fan. What if, though, he was an hour and a half late, she waited, and then that means she had to pay extra for a babysitter, or she couldn't get home?
It's a different conversation.
But that's what
Yeah, but what you again? That's why I asked Cisco the energy about the Icelandic women.
Yeah.
Is it with that energy? Because again, if she had said, "Listen, you're an hour and a half late, and my kids, I'm in a bit of a situation here.
Yeah.
I need to get my kids some food. Blah blah blah." Put a man in a position to want to. Women need to understand that men, by nature, we want to do that for you.
Want to help, want to provide.
We want to. Like, that's what we want to do. There's no need for you to assert your dominance in a masculine way, leading masculine way to us. You're only now causing us to fight that, because that's what we do, man against man. A man can't come and chat to me like that, because that means, bruv, you're asserting your... Fuck you, bruv. Sit your ass down. So even whether you're a woman, if you want to come with dominance and come leading with your masculine energy, all you're doing is getting my back up.
Right.
And therefore, I'm going to be a man until you sit down, especially as you are not a man. Sit down, fall back, man, how you talk.
Yeah. So with you, that a woman can be as strong as
Beautiful.
possible. But when you're moving in the masculine energy and you're overstepping the mark, that's something that you have no space for.
We spoke about this in season 1.
We did.
You need to learn to submit or surrender.
Because I don't like the word submit.
All right, because Cisco doesn't like, and the thing is, I don't care what word it is that makes you feel. But again, I'll speak. I'm not going to speak for women, but I've heard women say they want to submit and surrender to that. They want the man to be the man in their relationship, and for them to be the woman in their relationship, or the feminine energy, whatever way you want to describe that. But we can't keep now leading with this energy that is non-conducive and non-constructive and very.
And not animalistic, very vicious.
Yeah, it's like you said, like when she was saying to the guy, because Kane, you bring up a good point. Had she had a problem, but just share that with him.
Yeah, as opposed to demanding
Anything from anyone. Like Cisco said, when you come with that expectation, that's a trigger.
It's a disrespect.
Yeah.
It's like if you came, and I believe, like Cisco said about, say, with 2 men, if I've invited you out, then obviously I'm paying.
Yeah.
If you've invited me out, I'm still going to offer to pay because traditionally the men pay. But if you've invited me out, you should pay.
So you're okay, for example, if the lady you were seeing, or if she was your woman, she was like, no, dear, I've got this now. You're okay receiving it?
I'm okay. I remember I said to you, I stay open.
Yeah, just not for bum sex.
Yeah.
But with
Fuck
you,
off, Kane.
what are the preference for you, or not the preference, but what would your ideal date for the modern day woman be? Like, what are you happy to do?
I think a really important factor is like who sent the invitation, right? So like if I've invited you, I'm not expecting. If I say, hey, I'd love to take you on a date, the key word there is, or the key structure is, I would love to take you. Right. Not I would love us to go, or I would like you're gonna pay for you and I'm gonna pay for me. But for me, if we did go on a date, I'm not expecting you to pay. I'm not even expecting you to offer because I've said I will take you. Right. But if you offer, I'm still not going to let you, but that is brownie points.
It is.
That to me shows that is a common. There's a respect.
Respect, yeah.
A courtesy.
It's an
us thing and not an expectation from the man.
Not an expectation from you, and to me that sets up an idea of if we're gonna have a future, what that future will look like, because it's common grounds. Right. So like.
Kind of gives you a look into who that person is, isn't it?
Yeah. And then what value they're gonna bring to your relationship if it goes further than that first date.
Understood.
So like I always like speak to like, sorry babe if you listen to this, you're gonna hate me. But like we talk about work a lot, and like
this is your fiance.
My fiance, she's in a position where she can't work like I can because she had a back surgery a few years ago, so she's not in the same position to do a physical workload like I do. And I always say, but when we talk about like working. Now we're 8 years in a relationship, we can talk about it, work being financial or just everything as a whole. Because at the end of the day, I go to work more, as in I go out to earn money more, but she does way more work at home than I do.
At the home, yeah.
She has way more investment in making sure our bills are like she does all our paperwork for the house. She does all the bills.
She handles the business.
She handles the business side of things because I'm out doing my business to make sure our business as a team and as a unit runs. So that's how I see it. So from the first date, like if you offered to pay, I go, okay, this could work for a future thing. But if straight away you're like, this is yours, well, is that someone that I want a second date with?
It's quite ugly.
It's quite ugly. It's not a nice.
And I'm not even judging you. It's just not for me.
Yeah. And I think what I'm seeing in some of the modern day women, their characteristics, it's so led with dominance that the respect is non-existent, and I don't remember
the respect of what, as in the respect that they're giving to
a man.
Yeah, I agree.
Man, it's different. And
it's almost non-existent.
Almost, and it's almost like, how do you expect a modern day gentleman to be present or to want to do something when what we're receiving is basically trying to be lapdogs, really? Yeah. And it's like, whenever you want it, how much is it? It's not like that.
No.
And I just don't remember these women existed back in the day, but it's different now. Yeah. And I'm seeing a lot of it, and because everyone's posting, even like wiping their own ass on TikTok and Instagram and everything, like everyone posts everything. I keep on seeing these footages of a woman going on her first date, for example, and she's like going too far into the conversation in the future and going, well, if this is supposed to work, you need to pay for my rent. Like, I have to be a boss-ass bitch she said, a boss-ass bitch needs to have her rent paid so she can look after herself. And he was like, this is our first date. Like, no, you pay for your own shit. And then if we get to the point where we become a we, then can we discuss about splitting bills? And she wasn't having it, and she was being all entertaining and hula hoop neck and stuff like that. And then he was like, you dickhead. And I was looking at the guy, I was like, you fucking dickhead.
But
to the woman.
How is this being captured on video? To me, like, if this is already being filmed and this is how she is, this isn't her real life scenario. This is her doing role play or being character for this to be.
No, but I think also everyone wants to be an influencer, and to be an influencer is now unfortunately in everyone's life. So everything's documented, and so a lot of men, because I'm friends with relationships, straight relationships, where like the woman loves to do the influencer thing and, you know, film everything, and the guy's just like, yeah, it's just another moment that you're capturing, whether it's you opening a present, me receiving bad news, and he's just like, that's for some men, that's just what women do. That's just this generation thing, because they want to be an influencer, they want to get that blue tick, or they want to get validation through clicks, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, unfortunately, it's now found its place into normal things that our generation or our relationship would never do that. Because if I'm having a heart to heart with my man, what do you mean? What's your phone doing here? If you just received bad news, someone died, I'm not going to get my phone out. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's different. People, it's this culture of validation from the outside through the internet is very important now in some relationships. And that's just the honest truth, because everyone is, what you create one-to-one with that person is no longer important. It's creating the one-to-one, and can I get a reaction or a sponsorship deal from it?
And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like anyone's leading with the positive outcome for it. It's like they're just looking for reaction. They're just looking for...
Because drama equals clicks.
Right. And that, for me, is where I'm like...
Do you know what I mean?
I'm out.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? Like, I get it. I don't know. I really don't. Like, I'm not trying to create clicks from drama. Like, if there's going to be clicks, I'd really, really prefer for them clicks to come from, like, there being something of substance. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind if we're talking about something that has stemmed from something from drama, but like we're talking about this, like, it's quite dramatic. People speak about it in a dramatic way, but we're speaking about it in a way that we're trying to create a safe space to get some solution. Do you know what I mean?
I would love to, because in the gay, I've got so many straight girlfriends and I know what they want, but it's all very different, right?
Yeah.
But I would love, and this is something for our listeners and our viewers, what is your kind of requirements on a date-to-date basis? Like, what is it that you think as a woman that you deserve or should get? What's in a non-negotiable maybe? And even for the men, because I think in this day and age, because of the interruption of the internet, it's completely changed and it's anyone's game. I don't think that there's a rule book where we can now go back and be like, chivalry back in the day, this is what it was. You know what I mean? It's so different now, and the gender roles have got such a massive point. And, you know, it's changed the construct of what the to-do is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so for me, I'm just like, I'm in a relationship right now, but I got to that relationship doing what I always did. If I was going on a date and I invited you, I paid for it. If it was another time, it would be nice if he paid for it, but if not, we'll do 50-50. It's okay, because you never understand someone's financial situation.
Yeah.
But it was always transparency and honesty. And I asked the questions that I wanted and I felt I needed for this to go further, either in the route of Mr. Right Now or Mr. Future.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I've never lost respect for anyone. Like, no one could ever say in a date that I did too much or my expectations were too high or I made them feel less than. I will tell you if this is not a fit. If they ask me, they're like, what do you think about this? I'm like, to be quite honest, I see you more as a friend. Romantically, I'm not there with you. And I hope that's okay. No disrespect whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's about as awkward as it gets. But I just feel like I would love to know what people's requirements or even horror stories, because, you know, this is what we see in the internet, but this shit is happening on a daily basis.
But on a first date, like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, or just not wrong, but it's not me. I've never been on a first date and been like, so what does our future look like? Like, what would you provide for me? Like, that's not to me, that's not a first date conversation.
It happens though. I know what you mean.
For my first date, I want to know, like, what you been up to?
Yeah.
What do you like?
What's your favorite color?
What's your morals? But not on like a financial standpoint, because that's not what I'm judging you from?
I don't know you yet. Like, it takes
I
time.
need to know you before I think
Get
about
there.
all these things.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know what you do for fun.
But a lot of people are getting into relationship or situationships for security and not for love. They're trying to either claw the way up from where they are now, and they see the relationship as the getaway ticket.
Like, it's just like a business. It's like a
Kind
business
of, yeah.
relationship.
I think
You know what I mean?
love
That-
changed a lot.
It has changed. That's pretty much why I don't like the construct of relationships and love in the way that it's sold. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I choose not to be in a relationship, because I felt it was damaging myself and the mother of my kids, because we were trying to be society idea,
The blueprint. That's
the blueprint of and it's like, that doesn't work for us.
So what works for you now then? Just to be free and single and to figure it out?
Well, what works for me now is for what I think will work for everyone. Again, but this is my opinion, is that everybody work out who the fuck they are and allow others the space to do that. And then see where we fit together in that.
Yeah.
Whoever that together is with. But like let's stop leading with the judgment, the projection and the expectation. I'm not saying that we won't have judgment. I'm not saying that we won't have projection and expectation, but to lead with those things is just non-conducive. It's not healthy. So for me, it's like I have given the mother of my children the space. Sorry, I've given myself the space to know who the fuck I am, and by doing that, I'm honoring and giving her the same space to do the same for herself.
Preach.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'm not doing that with some like, oh, if she finds someone else who I name Carlos, if she finds her Carlos, I'm not going to do that and lead with my jealousy or vexation of her finding somebody else. I'm not going to lead with that, because I love and honor her and the space that I've given her to find herself. And if she finds someone else in that time, so be it. Because it's not, love for me isn't about ownership. Do you know what I mean?
But
that I like that.
yeah.
Yeah, do you get what I mean? And that's what I think love has been like.
And that's what. Sorry. To
No, go on, please.
That's
do.
what happens. Like, really, I think old-fashioned like mentality with relationships. Like say like a relationship, they're together and they'll be like, "What are you doing today? I'm going out with my friends." No, you're not. You didn't.
Because it's
tell me.
ownership.
You didn't tell me. Why you go? Why didn't you tell me? Why do you think you can do that? What? So I'm meant to be on my own. I'm meant to stay in. Like, it becomes that ownership.
You're already triggering me.
Like,
but that's what happens.
almost
Those things
almost
just-
like you don't now exist outside this
Yeah,
relationship.
Right.
There's no us anymore. There's no you and me anymore. It's an us.
Yeah, it's and I can't I can't stand that. I'm not judging those that want to live in that way, but what I can't take is people projecting because I don't want to, that therefore
You're in the wrong.
it's like, no, I could say you're in the wrong because what you're doing isn't right for me.
You enjoy having your independence and still being Dwayne in the relationship and outside, so they are two separate things.
And I like that for the person whom I'm in the relationship
You want
with.
that for them too.
Yes, so
I
it's
like
not
that too.
it's not a double standard where
Yeah.
it's like, because I like it for me, but you're not allowed to do it, which is kind of sometimes how some men can be in a straight relationship. It's like, yeah, no, I'd love for there to be like, for us to explore with other people, not Mando.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, again,
you.
which I get, I understand it, but my point is, if you're not even open to having that conversation as to why you think that way, even say to your girl, the reason why is because I just wouldn't feel comfortable with a guy. I'd feel comfortable with a girl, but a guy I just wouldn't. It changes, even the tone in which I'm using to express that to you with is different. Rather than me saying, no man can come in a bed with us. Do you know what I mean? It's like, wait, hold on. No, I'm not comfortable with a threesome being with another man, but a threesome with another woman, I'm up for. Why is that? Because of blah, blah, blah. The conversation is different. Rather this texture and this tone that we're all using and taking with one another, which to me is what Cisco touched on earlier, is disrespectful. It's like no one's allowed to say how they feel without somebody being offended by it. So I don't want to be in a relationship in the way that society sells it to us. People now think I just want to go around and fuck bare gal. I can fuck bare gal. What are you talking about? That's easy. It's not that. I'm being honest and saying I don't want to be in the social construct of the relationship in the way it's sold to me. That's it. What about that don't you get? Because you do. That's okay. You do that then. I don't. Leave me be.
Leave me be. Leave me be. By the way, I love threesomes.
Cisco always has a way to just, I'm not even going to say lower the tone, just bring the tone home.
I'm from the gutter. I know at the time. I know my place. I'm a roach. But I guess the progressing question is, has modern day dating affected your perception of love?
Ooh.
Because for me, because I was dating before the apps and coming to the apps quite late, I feel the difference and I see the difference. And I think that the decorum attached to love and how we approach love or another person has completely changed. But has that changed for you? I would love to hear your stories of, is it working for you? Isn't it? Do you agree or disagree with some of the stuff that we've said? Remember, joining the conversation is what we want this podcast to be about.
Yes, please.
And thank you so much for listening, boys. An insightful conversation as per usual.
Hey.
Thank you so much, Dwayne and Kane. Yay!
Done though.
And you know,
Adios.
my favorite line.
Go on. Let's go.
Remember, guys, girls, and anything in between, to always keep it real without the
spiel.
Na na na.